In this driving lesson video, we're going to focus on a very important aspect of driving that could be the difference between passing and failing your driving test. And that is the importance of not focusing on the one thing too much and trying to scan ahead as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But first of all, I want to say a big thank you to all my supporters out there who have donated money by PayPal. I really appreciate your help and support. It does mean a lot, and I'm very grateful. If you would like to make any donation to me by PayPal, I'll leave a link in the description and in the first pinned comment. Thank you for your support. Scanning ahead is so important, and not focusing on the one thing, because as a driver doing your test, if you focus on the one thing too much, there's a big chance that other things might suffer. Let's have a look at this photograph here, for example. Now, this is just a general photograph that I got from the internet. It's not necessarily to do with driving, but if I asked you to just explore the main features of this photo, you would probably say the following: that it's a rural setting in the countryside. There's a narrow, bendy road. There seems to be mountains in the background. The sun is rising, we think, and there are some basic road markings in the middle, and the road doesn't really have an edge, and there's a telephone pole or electric cables there as well. So all those things I said, they took about 10 or 12 or 15 seconds for me to say. And if you're in a driving test or a driving lesson and you want to scan ahead, you're not going to have that time, because by the time you say all that, you'll probably be 200 meters down the road and there could be different things to talk about. So let's have a look at that photograph again, and let's try and scan it this time a little bit quicker. So here it is. Rural setting, narrow road, water, mountains there, sunrise, telephone pole. So there you go. That was quicker, it was more efficient, and by the time I said all those things, not a lot of time had passed. They'd all be relevant from the time I started to the time I finished. So quick scanning ahead, not focusing on the one thing too much, are key aspects to passing your driving test. Let's have a look at a road I was driving on recently now. So I'm coming down along this road, and you'll see that if we were to look at it generally like I did previously, that it's slightly downhill. The road surface is not great, it's a bit uneven there, the road surface. There's a traffic light sign and traffic lights further up. The car in front is slowing down or stopped, because you can see that his brake lights are on there, and we're in town, or we're approaching town anyway. But by the time I said all that, you probably would have been at the traffic lights by the time I got to the end of my little speech there. There's no time to be dwelling and focusing on the one thing. So a driver there, if they completely focused on one thing, like a lot of people I know from driving down there with learner drivers, they probably get too focused on the lights. So they're all focused on the traffic lights, and they forget then that there's a car in front of them. They forget maybe that they have to slow down a bit earlier because it's on the downhill. They misjudge the road surface. If you go too fast over dodgy road surface, over bad ground, it could be deemed unsuitable, and you may lose a mark on their speed. And basically, they might be very aware the lights are there, but they may end up braking suddenly or braking quickly because they haven't anticipated the hill, the downhill that is, or they haven't anticipated the fact that the car in front is slowing down. So let's have a look at that picture again, and watch now how I scan really quickly and really efficiently about the main things in this picture without getting overly focused on the one thing. So looking ahead there, traffic light sign, traffic lights ahead, dodgy surface, bit of a downhill, car in front is slowing down, and the red light up ahead. Now, I said that a lot quicker, a lot more efficiently, and that's what you as a learner driver have to do. Scan ahead, not get too focused on the one thing, and think generally without kind of zoning in on the one thing, and that way you have a better chance of reacting and planning ahead better. A few weeks ago I was giving a lesson to a girl, and we came up along a stretch of road, and I'm going to show you that stretch of road now, but almost the exact same thing happened in terms of she got so focused on one thing that she forgot pretty much everything else, and she ended up making a big mistake. Now, she ended up passing her test anyway a few days later because she learned from the valuable lesson. But here's that road now that she had the problem on. So in this picture here now, it's a lot quieter than it was with her. It just happened to be the scene when I was there a few days ago. But as you can see on this road, if you were to give it a sort of a general overview, you would probably say the following things, like it's a bit uphill. It narrows there before it widens slightly. There's a pole there very, very close to the edge of the road, and there's parked cars. There's a person walking on the right there, and there's a number of bins left out on the left and the right as well. So again, it took me a long time to say all that. If I was driving up that road, by the time I finished that, I'd probably be up at the traffic lights 200 meters ahead. I don't have time to focus on one thing there. You have to kind of say it, or you have to kind of think like this. So here's that picture now again, and we're going to do it now a lot quicker, a lot more efficiently. So here it is. Uphill, road narrows, pole very close, woman walking down, bins there, parked cars, be aware of oncoming cars. So by saying it like that and by thinking like that, as a learner driver, you can be more aware of the potential danger ahead. The problem the girl had, she was so focused on the cars coming down. At the time, there was cars coming down the hill, so it made it a lot more challenging than what you see here. So basically, she saw the car coming down. She kind of panicked a bit, gave it a bit of juice, tried to go to clear where that brown pole is. Tried to get up past that brown pole too quick. The car coming down had the right of way. The wing mirror ended up clipping the brown pole, and you know that's not exactly the most desirable thing in a driving test. But it happened in the lesson anyway, not the test. But basically, because she was so focused on the car coming down the hill, she wanted just to get out of that situation quickly, and she failed to think of the other things. Like what she should have done there was maybe just slow down, maybe roll into first gear, hold back, put on the handbrake maybe if you're on a hill, let the other cars filter down, and when they filter down, then you just get your bite, don't roll back, and just proceed accordingly then. Not like don't rush it, don't try and rush out of the situation, because that just creates more problems in the long run for you. So because she was rushing and just trying to get out of that situation as quick as possible, she lost sight of her peripheral vision, and that's why she ended up hitting the pole. The side mirror ended up hitting the pole, that is, and it just led to a very unfortunate situation where, because she rushed it, a load of things kind of happened. Whereas if she had held back and not panicked and maybe scanned ahead a bit more efficiently, she could have avoided that situation altogether. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what you have to try and do as a learner driver. Not panic, not try to rush out of a situation, and certainly not focus on the one thing, because that could be to the detriment of other things on your driving. If you follow these tips, you will end up being a better driver, not just on the day of your driving test, but a better driver for life. And that's the whole aim anyway. That's the whole reason you get driving lessons and do the test. So if you enjoyed this, please give the video a like and let me know in the comment section maybe some tips you got about driving, about scanning ahead, about planning ahead. Thanks again for your support on PayPal. Links will be in the description and in the first pinned comment if you wish to support me by PayPal. And I'll be back very soon. Take care and drive safe.